You know what's funny? Most people think confidence is all about volume. Like, the louder you speak, the more powerful you seem. But here's the truth. Confidence isn't about being loud. It's about presence. And you might ask, what kind of presence? Even the quietest person in the room can have it. And just so you know, it has nothing to do with being 6 feet 5 inches or being super popular. It has to do with one thing, the real secret weapon. But before I get there, I need to warn you about something. I used to think being the quiet one meant something was wrong with me, like there was some invisible rule saying, speak up or get ignored. So I forced myself to talk more, louder, faster, and every time it felt fake, like I was just rambling. But then something shifted, and it changed everything. Here's an unpopular opinion. Quiet people don't need to become loud to be confident. They just need to own their quiet. Because when you speak with conviction about something you actually understand, even in just a few words, people listen differently. They pay attention. You're not fighting for attention. You're leading it. I remember this one moment in college. Big group presentation. You know the type. Loud voices, people talking over each other, trying to sound smart. Then, it was my turn. I was nervous, heart racing. But I remembered something a mentor once told me. You don't have to fill the room, just hold your space in it. So I stopped, took a breath, and said my first sentence slowly, clearly, without apologizing. You know what happened? The room went quiet. People listened. That's when I realized confidence isn't about overpowering. It's about being so grounded in who you are, you don't need to compete. And here's another thing most people don't realize. People try to talk about stuff they don't even understand. Let me give you an example. Maybe you don't like talking about politics. Maybe that's because it just doesn't interest you. And if something doesn't interest you, chances are you don't know much about it. And if you don't know much about it, of course you're going to feel awkward speaking on it. Now let's say your thing is gaming, but you're in a group of people who only talk about business. So what do? Then someone turns to you and asks, hey, what do you know about business? You calmly answer, well, the global gaming market made over $200 billion in 2023. That's more than movies and music combined. And games build super engaged communities that spend daily, not just on products, but on experiences, content, and digital identity. At the very least, they'll think, this person knows what they're talking about. That's the whole point. You don't have to fill the room, just hold your space in it. Now, here are a few practical tips to help you do that. Tip 1, the power of the pause. Quiet people have a secret weapon nobody talks about, the pause. Here's the thing, when a loud person pauses, it feels like they forgot what to say. But when a quiet person pauses, it feels intentional. It builds tension. Focus. Here's the trick. Before you say something important, stop. Wait 1 second. Let the silence sit. Then speak. That one small pause does 2 things. First, it makes you look calm, even if you're panicking inside. Second, it makes what you say next hit harder. And the best part? You don't have to say a lot, because when people are truly listening, less is more. Tip 2, short and strong sentences. Here's where a lot of quiet folks mess up. They think they need to say a lot to sound confident. Wrong. The most confident people use short, clear sentences. No rambling, no, I guess maybe, just, I disagree. That won't work. I have a better idea. Even a simple, I like that, said with intention, hits harder than a whole paragraph of fluff. Watch the show Reacher sometime. When he doesn't like something, he just says, no. No drama, no small talk. In real life, people might call him rude or arrogant. But really, it's a learned technique. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. The more confident you feel. Also, quiet confidence isn't about over-explaining. It's about saying what matters and letting the silence do the rest. Tip 3, control your body, not the room. This one's key. Most people get super uncomfortable when all eyes are on them, but confident people don't need to own the room. They just need to stand strong in it. That means relax shoulders, chin up, feet grounded, no nervous pacing. You don't need big gestures, just intentional movement. When you move, do it on purpose. When you speak, look at the person, not around the room. People may not remember everything you say, but they will remember how steady you looked when you said it. Here's one big lie you probably believed. Some people are just born confident. Wrong. Confidence is learned. it's practiced. And for quiet people, it starts with a mindset shift. I don't have to change who I am. I just need to show up fully as who I am. And that's enough. Now, here's one more truth no one talks about. Every time you do something that makes you uncomfortable, there's a moment called the terror barrier. It's just your brain trying to scare you. It creates imaginary worst-case scenarios to keep you safe. Like speaking in public and thinking, what if I mess up and people laugh at me? But here's the truth. You don't need to be afraid. I once heard a quote that stuck with me. God put the best things in life on the other side of fear. So let's make this real. You're in a meeting. You have an idea, but you're scared to speak up. Try this. Wait for a pause, sit up straight, then say, "Can I share an idea?" Or, "I've been thinking about something." That's it. You're not interrupting. You're inviting. Or, you're at a party. You're not the loud one. You're the observer. But you notice someone else looks uncomfortable. So you say, "These events always feel a little weird, huh?" Boom, connection made. Confidence isn't about performing. It's about presence, attention, and small acts of courage. So, yeah, you're the quiet one. Good. Own it. Because confidence doesn't belong to the loudest voice in the room. It belongs to the one who speaks with intention. And if you can do that, even once a day, you're already ahead of most people. So, don't try to be louder. Try to be clearer. Don't try to take up space. Hold your space. And most of all, don't fear your silence. That's where your power lives.